Your Denver Broncos just get even more evidence that they were cheated out of the win yesterday on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. But at the end of this video, we've got to get into the reasons for optimism, why this Denver Broncos team is still built to make a deep playoff run, and it's going to take the refs to stop us. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan who never quits on this team. Helps me in the YouTube algorithm out a ton if you like the Broncos, if you would smash that like and subscribe button. So you're just seeing takes from all over the NFL, people who've got absolutely no rooting interest in the Denver Broncos saying what a joke the league has become. With the calls at the end of that game, you got Dave Portnoy, one of the biggest platforms out there, retweeted by John Gruden, again, a guy who's got no dog in this fight whatsoever, really highlighting the fact that after that flag was called, you see the umpire shaking his head and saying, hey, please reverse that. Like, let's not call that. That is absolutely ridiculous, and yet it still was called. So that leverage call that really cost the Broncos the game after he just completely missed a 60-yard field goal, and even the score ticker at the bottom said Denver Broncos moved to 2-0, is designed to stop plays like this, where you see Justin Simmons, who uses two players here to kind of get over the line. This was not called, and the Broncos blocked this field goal on Sean Payton. Maybe that's the common denominator, that Sean Payton has angered people in league offices, and so we don't get great calls. And so you see here, this is the intent of that play, that at this play, you see Justin Simmons kind of push off with one hand and kind of use a foot to get over the top of the line. That is what that call is for. All throughout NFL history, since this rule has been in effect, it has never been used on a field goal like this. It has been used several times on extra points, but you have never seen this call on an actual field goal. Throughout NFL history, you have seen that this call has been called 51 times total, and most of the times, all of them, other than this one, they're called on an extra point play. It gets even worse when you look at the field goal that Will Lutz just looked like it was headed straight ahead, and it inexplicably hooked and clanged against the upright. You see the Indianapolis Colts doing this exact same thing, and that is the point of this, that just like the holding call, just like some pass interference calls, you could call it every single time if you wanted to. And you see the Indianapolis Colts, this is exactly what you're accusing Dondre Tillman or Uwazurike of doing. We still don't know even who they're calling it on, because they have different, who they called it on the field and then who it was actually on in the official book. It is just absolutely bogus that you see the exact same thing happening to us on our missed field goal, yet we do not get the benefit of the doubt whatsoever. And instead you reward this team here. And here you see both of these plays in real time. You see this guy using leverage over the top of our offensive lineman and no call there. And you see us do exactly the same thing. And the Broncos are the ones who are walking out of here with a loss. And it just makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. Because again, this thing is happening both sides of the ball. You either call it every time or you don't call it at all, and it's just very, very unfortunate that they did call it for your Denver Broncos. But here's the deal, guys. Your Denver Broncos have showed in 2 consecutive weeks that they have the full, complete package. We need to put those two things together. We need the game plan defensively that we had last week against the Tennessee Titans. We need Dre Greenlaw back so that we can stop a tight end, so that we can stop a running back. And then we saw that we can pump the brakes on Bo Nix and all of this talk over a sophomore slump. I'm just telling you that the vibes in the stadium yesterday from all of the Colts fans were like, oh crap, Bo Nix is good. And like people were saying, dude, he is good. This play here in particular, seeing Bo Nix using his legs here to get out of the pocket. Again, what a difficult play this is, that Joe Burrow couldn't make this throw because he can't move like Bo Nix, that a guy like Caleb Williams can't make this throw because he's not accurate like Bo Nix. So Bo Nix has that package of being able to be elusive and being able to be accurate with this, to roll to your left and just throw a bomb to a Troy Franklin who's on a dead-on sprint. Absolutely masterclass there. That is something to be hyped about. Seeing again, just this dime here to Marvin Mims. And when Bo Nix lets go of that ball, Marvin Mims is not open and he throws him open in space. Again, another throw that all the Colts fans around me were just silent. The vibe that entire game was that the Denver Broncos were going to win this game. And I think that's what makes it so hurtful and just absolutely gut-wrenching, is that the Broncos won this game, and you saw the level of frustration from this team, knowing that, hey, man, we put it together offensively. Where was this number 1 ranked defense that we were expecting from last week? Then one of my favorite plays of the game, this happened right in front of us where our seats were. Just seeing here, we were in goal line and we were under center, and Bo Nix kind of motions out, and you have everybody out, and you have a wide open, gorgeous pass here, just a gorgeous dime, and Bo Nix rolling to the right. You see him roll right or roll left. Either way, he's absolutely lethal. And just seeing, this is the Sean Payton inventive play calling, getting Bo Nix outside of the pocket, because If this guy's not wide open, I still love Bo Nix's chances. I think he runs that in for an easy running touchdown as well, but just seeing his accuracy on the move multiple times to find him. So you're seeing 3 touchdown passes. At one point, Bo Nix was on pace to have a 6 touchdown game, and we felt like we'd arrived and had everything put together. And so I'm not down because I saw what I needed to see out of the Broncos offense. That was the concerning thing last week. And I know when Dre Greenlaw is back in this rotation, our defense will be back in that conversation. I also just think of last year when we lost that game on that blocked field goal, and we could have just given up on the season. We could have been demoralized, yet it fired us up, and we won 4 straight. And so now we still have this entire division in front of us. You see the Kansas City Chiefs starting 0-2. They've got a gauntlet in front of them. They don't have receiver help coming back until Rashee Rice is back. This division is still very much ours for the winning, and it's going to happen, and this thing is going to come together. And don't jump off of the bandwagon, guys, because we know the Broncos have what it takes, because there is no sophomore slump from Bo Nix, and we know that even with the best defense in the league, you need a quarterback who can put up some points. Also, just love seeing Bo Nix's passing chart from yesterday, because you see all of the criticism from last week, Bo Nix can only throw outside and short. You see him spreading it left, spreading it right, seeing him using the field here. And I think one thing that we're absolutely going to see here is that we're going to see Evan Ingram start to become more of a part of this offense. That would be the one offensive caveat that I would say, is I've been disappointed with how the Broncos have used Evan Ingram. And I just think that's going to be because Bo Nix played all of last season without a good tight end. And so that is something that we're slowly building in here because so far on offensive snaps, we've actually only seen Evan Ingram in at 38% of offensive snaps. That year, just 2 years ago when he was healthy and had over 100 catches, he was in on 72% of offensive snaps. So I absolutely picture that happening here. One of the big standouts for this game was everything that we saw at a training camp in the preseason is ringing true, and that is Troy Franklin is absolutely stamping his turf and saying, I am a wide receiver 2 in this league, and I'm going to get better each and every year, because he had himself a game, 89 yards receiving, 1 touchdown, 51 yards after the catch. He is our one receiver who can make something happen after he has the ball in his hands, and you see that on little screen passes like here, and you see it on deep shots here that Troy Franklin is the truth, and that is a very, very exciting thing. Now, everyone was gushing about how good Daniel Jones is, that Daniel Jones broke a record that Peyton Manning had for first half production. That is just something you would never expect saying in Lucas Oil Stadium there. But what's wild to me is that if you take a look here at all of the advanced analytics, Bo Nix outplayed Daniel Jones in that game and still comes out of it with a loss, and that's got to just be like a dagger in your gut if you were the Broncos. But I know that Sean Payton is a culture master and that he is going to have this team rip-roaring and ready to go. We have a game next week on the 21st against the Los Angeles Chargers, who I think are going to beat the Raiders tonight. If the Broncos rattle off that victory, you are talking about us sitting at the top of the AFC West, which is exactly where we want to be. And then we've got a Cincinnati Bengals team coming to town without Joe Burrow. So this thing is still all in front of us, and it is definitely not time whatsoever to jump off the bandwagon. Do you really think that we're going to have teams put up 473 yards on this defense? That is the part that in the first half of that game, Daniel Jones threw for more yards on the Denver Broncos than 10 times last season. And I just do not think that's going to happen. I don't know if Vance Joseph was getting too cute with it and not trying to blitz, because last week the blitz against Miami Dolphins trying to blitz the Indianapolis Colts didn't work. But I trust Vance Joseph to get this done. I trust this defense, especially knowing that we should have Dre Greenlaw soon. We've got a great week of content. We're going behind enemy lines, talking to a Chargers creator. NFL Mike and I are going to do a breakdown here after that Monday Night Football game. And really, we'll be covering the press conferences, injury updates, all of that, and way more. But Broncos country, don't lose faith, because the NFL can cheat us, but they can't stop us from making a deep run in the playoffs, and that's something we should all believe in.